Hey everybody, so in this video I'm just going to read my post, The Law of Detachment, and probably have a couple of comments about it as I read through. Now, the Law of Detachment is about freedom from the need for things to be a certain way. It's one of the 7 laws that Deepak Chopra talks about in his book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And this is a little quote from him, which I love. In detachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. In the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the known, which is the prison of past conditioning. And in our willingness to step into the unknown, the field of all possibilities, we surrender ourselves to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. So I love that, as I said. Now, I particularly love this law because it's all about letting go of the need to control everything. The law of detachment frees us from the past so that we can move into the future without constantly looking to see what has happened and worrying whether it will happen again. It also frees us from past conditioning and the need to control how things turn out. It allows us to live the way we did when we were children, with a sense of adventure and excitement about the myriad of possibilities that can and if we allow them, will unfold. It's about surrender and trusting the universe and ourselves to create magic in our lives. Now, the essence of the law of detachment is contained in these 4 statements. The first one is allow yourself and others the freedom to be who they are. The second one, do not force solutions. Allow solutions to spontaneously emerge. And the third one is uncertainty is essential and your path to freedom. And the fourth one, remain open to the field of infinite possibilities and experience all the fun, magic and adventure and mystery of life. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of detail on each of those. So the first one, allow yourself and others the freedom to be who they are. This allows us the freedom to let go of ego and to show our true selves to the world. Far from the reaction you may expect, when you're authentic, when you're vulnerable, you have nothing to fear. You can't get found out because you're not hiding anything. And the other thing about that is you give out a certain vibration, a certain energy that people just naturally trust you because there's no duplicity there. And they can feel that on some level or other. It also allows others to be free in your present, to be authentic too. So it kind of opens up that energy for them to be the same way with you. It stops us having to try and control other people and our own selves in order to have some kind of experience that we think we should be having. Now imagine the freedom in that. And this is, in relationships where you think things should be a certain way and you're trying to sort of make them be that way instead of just allowing the relationship to be the way that it is. The law of detachment is about letting go of the drama, of being involved in life but not getting caught up in expectation and control. So the second point was do not force solutions, allow solutions to spontaneously emerge. So when challenges occur, we usually try to fix them, control them, and make things better in our limited way. The law of detachment is about resisting the urge to force solutions, but rather to breathe, detach, and watch as the perfect solution emerges. And often in our busy doing lives, we're so caught up in trying to make everything the way we think it should be that we miss the simple answers to our problems. Now, this really, obviously it's talking about how rather than jumping into action without thinking or, not even thinking, but just, feeling that we have to do something, we must do something immediately to sort this out, it's about detaching and not being so caught up in getting into action, but just allowing the solution to spontaneously emerge, which it will do given the space to do so, whether that's in the form of you getting an idea or somebody else appearing, or in fact sometimes you actually not needing to do anything because the situation blows over and nothing really results from it. So then the next one was uncertainty is essential and your path to freedom. Now, everything is uncertain in this world, no matter how much we like to think we're in control. The law of detachment says, surrender to that uncertainty, knowing that when you do that, you set yourself free to allowing the best way for things to unfold. Now, it allows you to detach from the seeming chaos that may be surrounding you and to know that the solution will come. In other words, you don't get caught up in it, okay? You don't get caught up in the chaos and the drama and the everything. You kind of, it's there and you're part of it, or you see it, you experience it, but you know that, the solution is going to come. And this is the pathway to security, because security is not something out there. Security is what you create within yourself when you surrender to that uncertainty. When you surrender to the fact that you don't know everything and that things are uncertain and there is no way to control that. Okay, when you surrender to that, you actually feel so much more secure, because this insecurity comes from trying to control everything and knowing in your heart that you actually can't do that. All right. So, yeah, security is when you create within yourself. You create it within yourself when you surrender to the uncertainty, knowing that everything always works out for the best without having to be in control. And that's pure freedom. Then the next point was remain open to the field of infinite possibilities and experience all the fun, magic, adventure, and mystery of life. So the law of detachment says that when you stop trying to control life, you're open to the field of infinite possibilities. In other words, you're just allowing all sorts of things to appear that if you're trying to control everything, you either don't notice them or they just have no space to turn up. And this is the universal mind, where every possibility is present. By being calm and detached and not forcing things to be a certain way from our limited perspective, we are able to be at peace with life being a mystery and experience all the fun, magic, and adventure that is available to all of us. So this allows, as I say, the same thing. It allows you to realize that we don't, everything's uncertain. We don't really know what's next, and that life is a mystery, and that when we allow that, all sorts of spontaneous things happen, and we allow magic and fun and adventure into our lives. And life just becomes so much more enjoyable, because let's face it, what's life without a bit of fun and adventure? Using the law of detachment in everyday life. So the law of detachment can be summed up in the following way. Surrender the need to control and let the creative magic of the universe flow freely through your life. This is not the easiest thing to do, of course. We're so conditioned to having to make everything happen in a way we think it should. But if you can just start to implement this law in your life, you'll see how much more peaceful life becomes. And it's not just peace that comes, because you'll be amazed at how things you yearn for appear with ease. Often far better outcomes than you could ever have imagined possible. And I can personally vouch for this. Of course, there are many people who are addicted to the drama and who just are not going to let go, thinking that if they don't step in when issues arise, or even when they don't, chaos will reign supreme and their life will go down the toilet. But I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to you, and I know that you get a sense of how wonderful life could be if you can just allow yourself to let go. So my advice is, if this is like something that's difficult for you, and let's face it, it's difficult for most of us to some degree or other, my advice is just to take baby steps. Just catch yourself. Next time you feel like you have to jump into action and fix things or control how something turns out. And even if you do carry on with that action, just observe yourself and remember that there is another way. This isn't the only way to have things work out. And slowly you'll find that you release such a tight hold. And when miracles occur, you'll actually recognize them for what they are. And this is going to give you the confidence, which is what I was talking about with that security, give you more security and confidence that you can let go a little bit more. And you can start on the path of bringing the law of detachment into your life. And when that happens, tell me about it. I'd really love to hear your comments, about your experiences. Because this is the thing. I'm not teaching you something that I know and you don't. You all know this as well. I know that you know this too. But it's about sharing our experiences and sharing things that we feel called to talk about, because it reminds us of things that we, as I say, we probably already know, and gets them to be more conscious, so that we consciously acknowledge them in our lives. And all of this allows us to get back into the flow of the universe and back into the flow of life, which makes life so much more fun and so much easier, and yeah, just something, so far removed from that sort of controlling and having to make everything work out in a certain way. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope that you got something out of this, and I hope you have a wonderful day further. Take care then.